Welcome to a day in the life of a Mahjong player. I'm on my way to play. I'm going to be playing American style with the meetup that I run in Atlanta. It's called Greater Atlanta Mahjong. So if you live in the Atlanta area, Google Greater Atlanta Mahjong and come and play with us. We play every Saturday at Abbott's Bar and Grill in Johns Creek. We play from 11 to 4, and then we break for lunch. It's a very nice group. Everybody gets along really well. We have a great time. Today we're going to have 14 players. So I think we're going to do 2 tables of 4 and 2 tables of 3. And then we'll just do a player rotation. If we have any drop-ins, that of course will be nice, because as we all know, tables of 4 is ideal. And I say it that way because I have had pushback from really most of the time just when new players come to our group, because a lot of people don't like to play 3. And you know, when you're a part of a meetup, you've got to be able to be flexible with how you play and who you play with too. You know, because sometimes we have beginners. We welcome beginners, and I do not separate beginners from experienced players. Everybody plays together. So you have to be able to play with all different personality types, playing styles. You have to be able to play at a table of 3 happily, etc. And that's what leads me to the discussion that I wanted to have today. So I hope you will participate in the comment section. I want to talk about group dynamics. And this applies to whether you lead a group or whether you just participate in a group. The exception would be if you only play online, of course. Because anytime you're playing with people live, you're going to have a group dynamic. And, you know, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to group dynamics. I've been running groups since 2005, so I've learned a few things. And I wanted to share them. Again, not only for leaders, but for players as well. For players, if you are part of a private group, it's probably easier than being part of a public group, like with Meetup or at your local synagogue or at your local senior center, rec center, what have you. Because in a private group, people pick and choose who they get to play with. So usually it's a group of friends, which is perfect because everybody gets along, and you know, there's little controversy, and the personalities mesh, the relationships are built, so you rarely have any interpersonal problems that create issues for the group dynamic. If you are new to a private group, though, you may run into some issues. So for you, I recommend that you just be flexible and tolerant. And over time, everybody will get to know each other, and if the fit is good, it will last. If it's not a good fit, then you as the new player, if that's the case, will probably be asked to leave and find a group that might be a better fit. So just be prepared for that. Don't take it personally, because everybody has a different playing style. You know, some people like to play fast, some people like to play slow, some people like to talk, some people like quiet, some people like to listen to music, some people want no music at all. You know, there's always going to be some level of discomfort anytime you're meeting with any kind of a group of people at a party or at some kind of other social event. You know, you just have to be flexible, and it's always good to prepare yourself to be tolerant. The tolerance comes in especially when you're interacting with different personality types from yourself. I mean, because obviously if if you're hanging around people who are like-minded with you and have like personalities, there are rarely going to be any conflicts. But if you're playing with people who have different backgrounds from different parts of the country, have been taught how to play differently, there may be some personality conflicts there. So if you just prepare yourself to be tolerant and let things slide off your back, don't take things personally, you'll do just fine. If you ever have a problem with another player, the best thing to do is to confront that player directly and diplomatically talk about the issue. If things don't resolve, then go to the host of the game and see if maybe they can help out. And then if things don't change and you're so uncomfortable that you don't like playing anymore, then that's a sign that it's not a good fit. So that's how that works in a private group setting. When it comes to playing in a public group, like at a synagogue, rec center, senior center, meetup, it's a little different. It's even more important to be flexible and tolerant, because the mix of personalities and playing styles is multiplied. Like today, we have 14 players. In a home group, you might have 5. So you have your 5 players who you know well and have meshed with versus 14 people. And today, for example, we have, I believe, 5 guests. So some people don't even know anybody, or know who these guests are. So everybody kind of has to get to know each other. And we have people coming and going all the time. We even have out of town visitors that just drop in. So you really have to prepare yourself to be flexible and tolerant when playing at a public game. Also, always find out what the house rules are. Not only the house rules, but the etiquette. For example, in our group, we do not go near anybody else's rack. You do not reach over and take a joker from somebody else's rack if you have an exchange. You hold it out and you say, "Exchange, please." So that's not a house rule, that's just etiquette. So always ask about things like that so that there's no surprises during the game, because that can kind of ruffle feathers. That is my advice to players. For leaders, there's another level of preparedness. The flexibility and tolerance applies to all those situations. Also, you have to be very diplomatic when addressing issues that might come up, interpersonal issues, or even if you're playing at a public venue, issues with the waitstaff or the venue itself. I mean, you have to manage a lot more. In regards to the group dynamic, the other responsibility that falls on a leader is troubleshooting. Whenever there is an interpersonal issue, let's just say between 1 or 2 players, what I do is I talk to the person, of course, who brings up the problem, and I recommend that they approach that player directly. It's always best to have the two having the problem to talk together. But if for whatever reason they don't hear each other, or if maybe one of the person complaining has a problem with confrontation, then you'll have to step up and handle it. And whenever I have to handle something like that, you pull the problem player or the player who's causing the discomfort to the side. You either have them come early. Well, no, I wouldn't have them come early because they may get their feelings hurt and it could affect their day. So I would either ask them to stay for a few minutes after and talk to them privately when everybody leaves, or just pull them aside and while everyone else is doing whatever. So talk to them privately, or you could even call them, or invite them out to lunch or a soda, something like that. And then when you talk with them, always start with some kind of a compliment, like, we're so glad that you joined our group, we're so glad that you're part of our group, you are really a great player, or you're learning a lot, or whatever it is, some kind of a compliment. And then you got to drop the bomb. So you could say something like, I have observed some discomfort in the group because at times you blah blah blah, pick too fast, get angry if you don't win, throw your tiles in, flick tiles, what have you. There are all kinds of things. You could, maybe they talk too much, maybe they're talking on the phone or texting, or whatever the problem is. There's all kinds of things that get on everybody's nerves. So you just want to explain what the problem is, and then pause, let them respond, because sometimes they'll be surprised and they'll say, gosh, I had no idea that I was causing such a problem, and then the problem goes away. Sometimes they're baffled and they'll say something like, well, what do you mean? So at that point, you have to give examples. So be prepared to give examples of what the issues are, so that they can relate and understand how they're creating a problem for the group dynamic. If things don't change, remind them and expect change. If things still don't change, they're not a good fit for the group and you need to ask them to leave. I believe that no matter how big or small your group is, you've got to protect the core players of that group. The people that come back again and again, especially if you're playing in a public group, like a meetup. I have probably a core group of maybe 12 players or more. I don't know. But I got to protect those 12 players because they're the ones who come week in, week out. And I've got to keep them happy. If we get a new player in that disrupts the group dynamic and they don't modify their behavior or accept the etiquette of the group or the playing styles, then they're just not a good fit. And it's sad when that happens, and it's not personal, it's just not a good fit. You just have to ask them to find a group that better fits their style. So let me know what you think about all that. If you participate in a group and have a problem and need advice, write in the comment section. If you lead a group, I would love to hear some of your ideas on how you manage your group dynamic and how you do your troubleshooting. And if you have any questions or need advice, put it in the comment section. I'd love to help out if I can. After Mahjong, I'm going to come back on and I'll explain how things went for the day. Oh, I'm going to do the booty. I don't know if you saw my last vlog, but we do what I call a booty, where people can choose to participate by entering $2 in a pot, and then whoever's high and whoever gets the hand of the day split the pot. Whoever's low gets their $2 back. That's fun, and people have enjoyed that, so I'll let you know how that goes too. I just got out of Mahjong and I'm on my way home. I thought I would give you a debrief on the day. We had 13 players. I think the out-of-town guests, I don't know if they forgot that they were going to play with us today, or if maybe something came up and they just couldn't come. But we ended up with 13, and it worked out great because we had 3 tables of 4 and a floater. I think it worked the way it was supposed to for today. We did have a booty. Not everybody participated, but it was still decent. And we had a prize for high, a prize for the hand of the day, which was any hand with a flower in it. And then we had a prize for low. And I got high. So I'm very encouraged. I even got a dot on my card. It's been a while since I got a dot. I need to get a move on that. So yeah, it was a really good day for me. I enjoyed myself. A few times though I was playing a pair hand, one away. What do people call it? One away Jane or something like that? I don't know. I forget. But I just was one away from pair hands a couple times today. And one was the big hand. And then 2 other times it was the news pair hand with like numbers. Oh, and both times I had to get rid of jokers. Even for the big hand, I had to get rid of a joker. I was going to sacrifice those jokers for a pair hand. I was close. And that's exciting. I mean, literally, my heart beats. You know, I get that little escalation of heart rate because I get so excited, and then somebody else wins. Or it's a wall game. It's a little anticlimactic, I guess. But it's still fun. It's worth the effort. So let's see here. I went to the Asian market after to get some scallions because I wanted to make some chicken broth with scallions, salt, pepper, garlic, and I wanted those to be my lunches. Just sip on a cup of chicken broth with scallions. But they were scrawny and dry. That's the first time I went to the Asian market and those veggies were not crisp and green and luscious. So I was a little disappointed. No scallions. I also wanted to dehydrate some. I was watching the Needy, is it the Needy Homesteader, I think? YouTube channel, the Needy Homesteader, I believe is what it's called. And that's Needy as in K-N-E-A-D-Y, Needy Homesteader. She's adorable. Anyway, she was dehydrating scallions, and I have a dehydrator, so I wanted to dehydrate a whole bunch of scallions so that I have them in my pantry anytime I need them if I run out of fresh. And they just were not up to par, so I'm very disappointed. Oh well, I'll have to try next time. I'm going to go to Target and see about getting some scallions there. They do have some really nice organic scallions, but you get 2 in a pack and they're definitely more expensive. But I really want to make that chicken broth because I need to lose another 10 pounds before mid-August. That's my goal. I need to be in Wonderland. Do you know what that is? Wonderland is under 200. So yeah, I'm confessing I'm over 200. So I am very close though. I want to be under 200 for my trip. I want to be light on my feet because we're going to Universal Studios for 3 days. And man, does that kill your feet. And if I'm carrying an extra 20 pounds on me for 3 days at Universal Studios, that hurts. So I'm just trying to drop as much weight as I can, as healthfully as I can between now and then. And I have lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds, well, I won't tell you how because it's controversial and you might be concerned. I might do it on another vlog if you're interested. It's controversial though, I have to say. We'll see. I don't know if I want to divulge my secret because I may get trolls. Anyway, it's an awesome protocol. That's a hint for you. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this vlog, And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click the subscribe button. Between now and the next day in the life of a Mahjong player, may all your picks be keepers.